You ever meet someone who mistakes your silence for weakness? Someone who laughs at you in front of others, not realizing you're already 3 steps ahead? This story isn't about rage or shouting. It's about patience, intelligence, and precision, because sometimes the smartest revenge doesn't make noise. It signs paperwork. He said it loud enough for everyone to hear. Go fix computers where you belong. A few shareholders chuckled, hiding their smirks behind glasses of champagne. My brother leaned back in his chair, full of himself, basking in the power he thought he had. He loved moments like these, public humiliation wrapped in polite laughter. I stared at him, silent. My laptop was open in front of me, lines of code and numbers glowing faintly on the screen. I closed it slowly, deliberately, letting the sound echo through the boardroom. That's when the bank executive entered. Good morning. We just need the majority owner to authorize the transfer. The laughter stopped. My brother's grin froze midair. The what? He asked, half laughing, half confused. The executive turned toward me. Miss Carter, if you could just sign here. The air went still. All eyes shifted to me. My brother blinked once, then twice. Confusion twisted into panic. I smiled, small, controlled, sharp. And as I signed, I remembered how I got here. When our father died, he left us the family company, Carter Tech, a cybersecurity firm he built from scratch. My brother, Ethan Carter, was the golden child. Charismatic, business-smart, ruthless when he needed to be. I was Lila Carter, the quiet one, buried in code, overlooked in meetings, introduced as the tech girl who just happened to be family. He told me I didn't understand business, and for a while I believed him, until I started reading the numbers he didn't want me to see. There were payments that didn't add up. Invoices that looped back to fake vendors, shell companies owned by his college friends, money bleeding out of the firm under fancy labels like consulting fees. It wasn't just greed. It was betrayal of our father's legacy and of me. I didn't confront him. That's what he expected. Instead, I stayed quiet, watched, listened, learned. He underestimated silence. For months, I worked late. My office light was always the last one glowing in the building. I built something of my own, a system within the system. Every falsified payment, every hidden transaction, mirrored and time-stamped. A digital trail that could rewrite the company's entire history with a few keystrokes. Meanwhile, Ethan pushed me further from the board. Stay in your lane, he'd say. You're good at computers, Lila. Let the grown-ups handle business. Fine, I stayed in my lane, but I was quietly rebuilding the entire highway. Bit by bit, I began buying back company shares, small ones, unnoticed. Through employee trusts, vendors, and a few shell accounts. My background in cybersecurity made it easy to hide my hand. He thought I was too busy fixing servers to care about power. The night before the shareholders' meeting, I walked into his office. His computer was unlocked. Typical Ethan. I opened his email and found what I needed. The final draft of a merger proposal with a giant conglomerate called Nexus Global. The deal would make him rich, but leave Carter Tech gutted. Employees laid off, patents sold, everything my father built dissolved. I didn't delete anything. I made copies. Then I made edits. Subtle, surgical, enough to expose every fraud and self-interest the moment he presented them. And while he slept in his penthouse, dreaming of wealth and headlines, I filed my final set of documents, the transfer of all the shares I'd quietly collected into one holding company. Mine, the majority stake. The next morning, he walked into the boardroom like a man on top of the world. I sat in my usual corner, Laptop open, quiet as always. He made jokes, laughed with the investors, even threw a few sideways glances my way, until the bank executive arrived. That's when everything shifted. Ethan's voice cracked as he said, "There must be a mistake." "She doesn't have majority control," the executive shook his head. "The documents were verified this morning. Miss Carter owns 51.4% of Carter Tech." A wave of murmurs rippled through the room. Cameras flashed. The same people who laughed with him were now whispering about me. Ethan turned to me, his charm finally stripped away. For the first time, I saw the fear underneath. "Lila, you can't do this." "I already did." I opened my laptop. The projector came to life, filling the screen with slides, his slides. But not the ones he remembered. Every falsified number, every offshore payment, every illegal transfer filled the screen, line by line. His name on every document, his signature on every deal. The room went dead silent. He stuttered through excuses, something about loyalty, misunderstanding, family. But the words fell apart. I didn't have to raise my voice. My silence did it for me. When it was over, the board voted unanimously to remove him as CEO. No one defended him. No one even looked him in the eye. He walked out of the room slowly, his entire world crumbling behind him. The man who used to control everything now looked small, a shadow of his arrogance. As he passed by me, I said softly, "You told me to stay in my lane." So I built a new one. That night I sat alone in my father's old office. The city lights flickered against the glass, painting the room in cold silver and blue. I thought I'd feel victorious. But I didn't. I felt calm, steady, because this wasn't just revenge. It was balance. My father built something worth protecting. Ethan tried to destroy it. And I, the quiet one they all ignored, saved it. It was never about the company. It was about reclaiming my name. In the end, revenge didn't come with yelling or fire. It came in silence, in signatures, in precision, and when the final paper was signed and his empire collapsed under its own lies, I finally exhaled. The sweetest sound in that entire boardroom wasn't applause. It was the sound of my brother realizing that the girl he mocked for fixing computers had just rewritten his entire world. They say revenge is loud, that it burns everything in its path. But that's not true. Sometimes it's quiet. It wears a calm smile, signs a few papers, and walks away while the guilty crumble, because power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just presses enter,